All right, Modern Control Yorion. So, this deck's actually playing a bunch of Magic's recent design mistakes. It's funny. I used to refer to formats like Modern and Legacy as like Magic's happy accidents, or the formats where like only Magic's most powerful busted cards had show up, and the decks like this really highlight how pushed and powerful some of these recent designs have been, right? Like, if we look at cards in this deck that have been printed in the last 2 years, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like a significant number of these things have been printed somewhat recently. It's also funny to note that, like, Jace the Mind Sculptor is a card that a lot of people talked about how this was going to break Modern when it got unbanned, and yet there's 4 copies of Uro here and 1 singleton copy of Jace the Mind Sculptor, which is kind of funny. So, yeah, we're just like a good interactive deck. We've got teachings here at the top end for those not familiar with this card. Real lot of fun. Search your library for an instant or card with flash, reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle your library, and it flashes back for 6 mana here. So general idea is that you can find lots of different utility with this. That's why, for example, there's a singleton copy of K Command here, which we can play off the Steam Vents that we fetch or off of red mana from Astrolabe. So basically, teachings can fetch this up. So even though there's only 1 copy, we have 3 virtual copies to find somewhat consistently. So let's go ahead and pop on into a league here with this one and see how it goes. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens exactly with companions. And I've said this before, but I would just like to echo and reiterate it. I really hate that they are announcing announcements of things instead of just telling us outright what's going to happen. I think it's incredibly silly. How they manage the things they're doing, and I wish they would just be like, hey, here's the changes that are happening next Monday. They don't happen till next Monday, but just like the ominous something will change is like really annoying. Yeah, that's basically what it is, Mask. It's don't buy any cards or work on decks this week. As a content creator and someone that works on Magic a lot, they basically put a moratorium on doing anything meaningful until we get there. We're just like in this holding pattern. Thanks for the 3/4 of a year, Sniper. I appreciate that. Welcome back, Bionic. Thanks for the 3/4 of a year as well. How we doing, folks? Welcome back. You love the website design for Historic. Thank you. Yeah, I had something similar set up for Modern. I actually went through and cleaned it up a little bit this time for Historic. But if you didn't see yesterday, I tweeted and posted in the subs Discord. There's like 18 or so decks. We're well into the double-digit number of decks in Historic on my website. So I made the website searchable for Historic decks. We have Abundant Growth that helps cast. I talked about Astrolabe and the Steam Vents to cast the K Command. We have Abundant Growth too. This makes a land make a mana of any color. This is like a fair version of Astrolabe. This is like what Astrolabe looks like when it's not a really bad, stupid design. Thanks, Slapter Gifts. Yeah. It actually wasn't that difficult to update the website once I realized what the issue was that I was having. So I spent the bulk of my time spent yesterday updating the website was spent trying to figure out that one of the plugins I was using didn't sanitize its inputs, and the reason why it was throwing an error on me was because I had a trailing space at the end of one of my inputs. Sanitize your inputs, chat, for the love of God. Thanks for the quarter of a year, Quick Johnny. Welcome back. I mean, to be fair, that's not strictly WordPress's fault. That's definitely the fault of the plugin I was using. Which, I don't know if there's a better plugin out there to do that. The one I have is functional now that I realize that, hey, I need to make sure I strip trailing white space. People get really upset when you block them. Which actually, believe it or not, kind of encourages me to block more people. Good times all around. I feel like I should probably click them, right? I'll probably use all these spells at some point. I'd like to get an idea of what their Jeskai deck is doing here. Remand? What is going on? Remand's a playable Magic card. The people feeling like there should be rules for how you block them really summarizes the entitlement of a lot of people have online. It's like you're not entitled to my time. When you're blocked by people you've never interacted with, people that are blocking you who you've never interacted with you're probably getting hit by chain blocks, which is a good reminder that you should be careful and think about things that you like and retweet. Apple Pie, thanks for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Occasionally, for people that don't use a lot of social media, chain blocks are a very useful tool. And basically what chain blocks account for is a chain block is when someone tweets something so incredibly offensive or stupid, you don't just block the person that tweeted, you also wait and block everybody that liked and retweeted that incredibly stupid or offensive thing as well. And that's really, if someone tweets something especially bad, don't engage with them. You're not going to change their mind. Instead, just chain block them and everybody that likes it. Super, super easy. Indomitable creativity. And whoa! Whoa! What just happened? What just happened? Did I take something? Okay, apparently... No, apparently Nahiri just got put on the bottom of their library. I thought I clicked on the bar to move and resize it. This application is just such an obnoxious pit stain. It's just so bad. The interface on this application is just the worst. It's just armpits. You have a problem when trying to move the windows all the time. It accidentally clicks on things. God, what a great feature. Alright, so I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna cast my Yorion and draw 3 cards. And this is only okay, because, like, early it's a draw 3, discard 2. I think that's fine. Abrupt Decay doesn't seem like it's going to be particularly useful. And the Mystic Sanctuary for now, too. Clip for review if you want. Indomitable creativity and whoa. Whoa. Wow, that's really bad. My cursor isn't... My cursor isn't even over... My cursor isn't even over it when it disappears. Creativity and you can see I moused over the Nahiri to pop it up, but then when it actually, like, when it disappears, my mouse is up over here. Whoa. So it, like, clicked on the card, even though, look, the card, yeah, it selects the card, even though when I click, my mouse isn't over it. And whoa. Whoa. God, that's so awful. Oh, yeah, the audio for the clip was playing over my OBS because the Windows driver for controlling what audio you hear randomly stopped working. Because Windows is about as good as a piece of software as Magic Online is. They have a remand in their hand, so I think I just let this happen. Yeah, I mean, I did only just install a 2080 Super in my computer, so there is a chance that my computer's not quite powerful enough to handle Magic the Gathering Online. So there is a possibility that this is related to my hardware and that my 2080 Super isn't quite able to handle what Moto's trying to do. Hey, thank you for the generous tier 2 Socio Penguin. I appreciate that. For the 22 months. I'll get Treasure Flare bumped up there. Thanks for the bid ecans, right? Moto, and that's actually the joke for reference. Moto is rendered 100% by Moto is rendered 100% by the CPU. It is not a video game. My CPU is also I believe an 8700K i7. So, like, my CPU is also very beefy. They remanded targeting silence, so definitely want to spell snare that so they can't get their remand back, or they can't get their silence back for later. Yeah, I was gonna say I probably should have waited on that fetch land so I could fetch Mystic Sanctuary, but you know, I'll just draw that like a professional. It'll be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. So their hand right now is Timely Reinforcement, Elspeth, Sun's Nemesis, and Indomitable Creativity. Does MTGO have high system requirements? I mean, kinda. If Cryptic isn't targeting silence in order to still draw a card, we do not. If all of the targets of your spell are removed, you do not draw a card with it. All right, so their hand is Timely Creativity Elspeth. So I think I just snap Cryptic Command here. Although if I snap Cryptic Command, oh wait, so this is what I do. Okay, so this archetype is super obnoxious, chat. So we go Mystic Sanctuary, put Cryptic Command on top of my deck. Then We draw 2 cards. Then we Cryptic Command. Counter your Teferi, return my Mystic Sanctuary to my hand. I believe is how this works. And then we play this, and we put Cryptic Command on top of our deck. And then you cast Astrolabe or one of our 30 other cantrips here. And you redraw the Cryptic Command. And now from here, you can rinse and repeat this counter your spell, pick up my Mystic Sanctuary, replay Mystic Sanctuary, put my counter spell on top of my deck. This is in fact where the magic happens. This is, in fact, where the magic happens. Why does this card have a basic land type? Who thought that was a good idea? I think I'm pretty okay with them gaining 6. Enjoy. Snapcaster my divination. I could mind control their 1/1. I could elect to mind control their 1/1 there. This is pretty unlucky here. Have to discard to hand size. Opponent had a Dwarven Mind. We have Mystic Sanctuary. Fun was had by all. Are you having fun yet? I'm having fun. Yeah, opponent looks to be playing a Luca/Polymorph deck. Indomitable Creativity and Luca basically have the same effect. I think this is an Aether Gust/Mystic Dispute matchup. I don't really know what I want to cut, though. What is Consume the Meek good for? Consume the Meek is a sweeper that we can Mystical Teachings for. Is why there's a copy of Consume the Meek in our sideboard. So it is notably an instant. Is why Consume the Meek is useful. We don't have to discard Uro, we get to discard Uro, right? Alright, so Decay and Ice-Fang are easy board outs, I think, here. Aether Gust and Dispute seem fine. They have, like, Remand, but I don't know that I necessarily expect them to have enough counterspells for Veil to be useful. So I think I'm going to board like this. Actually, you know what? They have Teferi in their deck. Leaving Abrupt Decay in because it hits Teferi seems fine. Yeah, it seems fine. I see some people noting the pause command as a heads up, just so it's in audio form as well for people that aren't looking at the stream total using the command. I am not taking in more deck submissions until after I get back from leave when the baby's born. I think we've got like a little over 20 decks in the queue right now, which will likely last us and probably still have a few left whenever young Hooglet arrives. How much leave am I taking? At least a week. Exactly how much leave is going to be dictated by what Christie's recovery looks like. Tiny children, when they're brand new, don't really do much. It's mostly going to depend on how much recovery Christie needs. I think I'm obligated to force this. They cry quite a bit. It depends. That's definitely, cry quite a bit is definitely not a guarantee. Alright, I think we're gonna fetch an island here. And then we're gonna Mystic Sanctuary. Throw Force of Negation back on top. Draw Force of Negation. Having to remember Twitch Prime resubs is hard. Well, thanks for taking the time to do that, Hawa. I appreciate the half a year. Welcome back. I just set a calendar reminder for myself on my Google Calendar to use mine. Always make sure I throw that somewhere every month. Rad for Life Forever. Thank you for the generous tier 3, by the way. Appreciate that. Welcome back. My son came out of the womb screaming. It didn't take a second breath until he was 2. That's great. I think if this resolves, I'm going to click myself here and get rid of one of these fatal pushes. It's a big if, though. Yeah, Mystic Dispute. I haven't cast a click in years, miss you, buddy. Vendiclique would be a sweet card to add to Historic. I think that's one I haven't mentioned before. That would be one I would love to see come via Historic Anthology. Is there a Fairies Jumpstart? What are the odds we get Vendiclique in Jumpstart this summer? Man, I hope we get Vendiclique in Jumpstart this summer. Would be lit, fam. I would ask that you never compare Magic the Gathering cards to diseases that kill people in my space. Thanks. So we have to force this for free, so that way we can Aether Gust a... There's no confirmed fairies in Jumpstart, but there's unicorns, so who knows?
Why was still on? I don't know why that happened.
It says the game controller's required, dude. There you go. What do you need? On a different level? I suppose because I have Fatal Push here too, I didn't have to alternate cast. I could have elected not to alternate cast there, and I could have just held up Fatal Push. Yeah, maybe that's better. I could have held the growth spiral. Hey, thanks, Captain Mogari. Appreciate the support. For the 25 months. Welcome back. We were able to locate a second Nintendo Switch. And by locate, I actually mean one of our wonderful subs here in chat got their hands on an extra brand new Switch, and they allowed me to buy it from them at a non-scalped price. So that was great. Shout out to Hoaglandia. So, Declan is playing Switch in the basement for the first time because it's new and novel to get to play in the basement. Hey, Sutters, thanks for the 9 months. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. I was gonna say, but because it's Declan, the door's open. Oh, God. Oh, children. Oh, children. Animal Crossing is largely the reason we have a second Switch as well. Like, I'd been playing some Pokemon Sword and Shield, and like, when Christy got Animal Crossing and both the boys have really been into Minecraft, I haven't played Pokemon in like the last month. Okay, so now we get to fetch Mystic Sanctuary and guaranteed draw Cryptic Command next turn, because that's how this deck works. One, two, three, four, five, six. This is only land number 7. So if I escape Uro here, I can't hold up Cryptic Command. But I think that's fine. I have Aether Gust and Fatal Push. This might be too aggressive. I don't know. A small chance this is too aggressive. I'm really excited for Jumpstart. I think Jumpstart sounds like a really awesome product. If we draw a land here, we can still hold up Cryptic Command, so that's nice. We double bolting my Uro. Deal. I think I just let it die. I could like Aether Gust it, but I think I'd rather not. That's great. Deal. Force of Negation on top of my deck, thanks. It's just like, they have one card in hand. I still have Yorion in my companion zone to cast. Like, they just can't win, right? You think Teferi may get a ban on Monday? Nah, I don't think so. Would be very surprised. Right, I think we just counter this. I think Nox put it best. If Teferi gets banned on Monday, we all take one shot in celebration. And if Teferi doesn't get banned on Monday, we all take 100 shots to lament the fact that he didn't get banned. Oh, I was supposed to bounce Mystic Sanctuary there, right? Yeah, probably. There is an Animal Crossing channel in Discord that my wife and several others at least are active in. I am not active in that one. I know there are a number of people in Hoaglandia that are into Animal Crossing. I'm glad people have things to like. You shuffled your Cryptic Command back in. I'm going to give you a timeout because my Cryptic Command is right here in my graveyard. I shuffled my Force of Negation back into my deck, which I was fine with because I don't think the Force of Negation really mattered. think Animal Crossing is popular because it lets millennials live a life vicariously that many of us cannot live in person. It's basically a late stage capitalism emulator where you get to pay off your debt with butterflies instead of like actual money. If you had issue with controller drift on your Switch, nope, I'm not even sure what that refers to. Although I mostly use a Pro controller if that's relevant. If that's something that happens with Joy-Cons more than anything. We have a pair of Pro controllers that I mostly use. $1.2 million for a house in DC. Good golly. We when Christy and I moved at the start of 2019, we got an extra nice house in our area, and our expensive house upgrade to the home we currently live in was like $285,000 when we closed and all was said and done. Yeah, they announced the ban and restricted updates would impact historic and standard. And I can only assume Winota is getting banned in historic because Wizards of the Coast banned Splinter Twin in every format possible, and Winota's the closest thing historic has to Splinter Twin at the moment. Every format except Pioneer. No, that's not true. They said standard and historic. They said standard, historic, and an update to how companions work, I believe is what they said. Was Prismatic Vista be a good fetch to bring to historic? No. In my opinion, Fabled Passage is the only fetch I want in historic. I think that one's an appropriate power level. Yeah, if they ban something and you haven't had that card get refunded before, they refund your wild cards when they ban it. Pioneer still has twin. Not really. Felidar Guardian was the twin they banned in Pioneer. Yes. Yeah, we've been waiting on Teferi to go away for a long time. So this person has tweeted at me a couple of times, and usually their tweets like this, and they make me chuckle. As a proud 2x game day top 8 competitor, I can honestly say there's no point in playing Arena, or as I like to call it, Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's coming from a level 41 battle mage with over 10,000 Planewalker points, not just some random clown. Magic Online will be taken offline for weekly maintenance in 1 hour and 45 minutes. Well, shoot. All right, well, we were probably going to be done playing before then anyways. Can I just praise Magic Arena again for a moment? One thing Magic Arena really got right is their downtime and updates. Like, the 0 downtime updates that Arena does are just so perfect chef's kiss. Good satire can be indistinguishable from reality. I agree, Mana Symbol. I agree. Is that enough time for this deck to win a match? I mean, we won the first match in 35 minutes. There's a good chance this will probably be a 4-match league. Usually I play Moto decks for about 2 hours, and I expect we'll probably have about half hour a match with a control deck like this. First one was about 35. Botanical Sanctum, Serum Visions, no companion. We could be getting Neoshiel branded here. Yeah, this one could be very quick. Agreed. Come at me, bro. Make a Grizzle brand. A snake, a snake. Oh, it's a snake. Badger, badger, badger. If this is the snake, what's my badger chance? Does that make Uro the badger? I feel like Uro's a pretty alright badger, huh? OG internet memes. Mushroom, mushroom. Badger, 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 badger. The Sultai Triome is very clearly the mushroom, Chad. Have you seen the animation on that thing on Arena? Yeah, looking like their what's it called? Neoshiel brand here. Can you get Mystic Snake and Historic? You have Frilled Mystic. Oh, by the way, Alkalo, you're not in the subs Discord. I was gonna tag you yesterday. In your sub survey feedback, you asked for a YouTube playlist for the Open. There is, and it's on my website. If you go to jeffhoagland.com and click Hoaglandia Opens, there's a YouTube playlist embedded there. You can also find that on my YouTube page. In fact, I'm going to customize my YouTube page right now, and I forgot to update. The standard open was at the bottom. Let's update this to the historic. And yeah, of course I read your feedback, chat. I wouldn't ask people to fill out feedback things if I didn't read them. No, I'm really big on not wasting people's time. If I didn't intend to read the feedback you provided me, I wouldn't ask you to provide it. Ghosted, thanks for the 14 months. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, it looks like whoever had the Magic Esports URL is no longer forwarding it. Yeah, that wasn't my URL that I purchased. That was a sub that made it as a joke, so I'd be surprised they didn't renew it. Especially since the official Magic site changed their URL. If you don't get sub surveys when I email them out, you need to update your Twitch settings. Your Twitch settings are configured so you don't get emails from Twitch. I agree, Zerum. I think Modern's in a fine spot right now. And this is this is probably almost certainly a little bit of my bias showing, but I think when Remand is a playable card in Modern, Modern's in a fine spot. Is my TLDR for Modern format health assessment. There's a good chance they kill us next turn because they drew a bunch of cards. Good chance they combo off again. Mystic Teachings. Unfortunately, I do not have another blue card in my hand, so I can't Teachings for Force and then Force. What's the cutoff for the survey? Oh yeah, that's something I want to mention today. I'm gonna look through. I'm gonna do my final perusal of survey feedback on Friday. So if you want to make your voice heard, make sure you do it by Friday. I'm gonna be off on Friday again, so I'm gonna take my final read through of the feedback section on Friday. I played 2 leagues with Jund recently, and I didn't feel like uninstalling Moto afterwards, so Modern is great by my standards. Yeah, I think it's super reasonable right now. The current state of Magic the Gathering formats, Modern's my second favorite format. After Historic, Modern's my second favorite at the moment. One actually really good suggestion we got from the sub-survey that I'm definitely going to be doing moving forward, I think, is I had the recommendation to upload the open in its entirety to YouTube as opposed to just the cut-ups. I'm still going to do the cut-ups round by round, but having the full unedited, uncut version to upload, I think, would be worthwhile. So that way people that want to watch it in its entirety and like see the random matches that we cut to in between. It's really unfortunate we didn't draw a blue card. If we had any of these cards were blue, we would have been able to Teachings for Force here and force them. Good chance we lose here now. How funny would it be if they ban Marauder in Historic? Maybe. Yeah, maybe they ban Marauder and Agent. Padtron, thanks for the 14 months. Welcome back. What's their win con? Laboratory Maniac. Laboratory Maniac plus drawing their deck. Can we decay Lab Man? We can if they mess up. So what they're going to ideally do if they play well is they're going to play Lab Man with the ability to draw multiple times. So that way they just draw again in response. Why do they play Laboratory Maniac instead of Thassa's Oracle? Because making double blue can often be hard for their deck. Would Mindbake Trap be useful in situations like that? I mean, in situations like this, sure. In general, I think most of the time Force of Negation is just going to do something very similar, though. Yeah, their deck often has a big chunk of cards left in it that Oracle's not always going to be able to win. Did they just concede? Okay, and we won. So my opponent drew the entirety of their deck and then conceded. Lol. Dispute and Aether Gust in. Fatal Push out. So Surgical Extraction actually comes in this matchup because surgically extracting their shoals at certain points can be very, very good. They had the one on board, right? Yeah, they're either ghosting or they assume, if you don't want to assume malice, they could just assume that because I hadn't conceded I had something, but yeah, it feels like a ghost. I feel like you draw there if you're not ghosting just to make me have it. It's like, you've already gone through it. It takes 2 seconds longer. Probably something spooky going on. Yeah, SCN's super good. Dispute and Force of Negation. Dispute, Force of Negation, Spell Snare are some of our best cards to start with in a matchup like this. Opponent mulligans to 5 and concedes the match. All right, maybe we will be able to play all 5. If we have another fast one like that, we'll get all the matches in. Been live for 45 minutes. Got an hour 15 left. Yeah, win, lose, or otherwise, Neil Schulbrand matches are always quick. I'm going to be shilling this in between matches a lot today, by the way, because I spent a lot of time on it yesterday. I updated the historic deck section on my website to have filters and grouping, so you can search by power level now. You can search by color, by archetype, by combination of these things. So feel free to check that out and let me know if you notice any issues with how things are grouped. I think they're all grouped correctly, but I occasionally miss things. Hey, Coley, thanks for the 3rd of the year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Best of luck for the Hoglandia Open every time you would say. So anyways, I started blasted. Matt would figure out new ways to politely ignore you. Samato, thanks for the half a year. Even if not following Magic, I'm happy to support you. Wanted to get back with Historic. What's the deck you like most among the ones on your slate? I'm a big sucker for Yarok Field. I'm a big sucker for Yarok Field. Click through a bunch of filters and everything seems good. Excellent. Thanks, Socio Penguin. Yeah, I poked it a little bit myself, but like with the white space error that I ended up taking me over an hour to fix, I was like cross-eyed by the end of it because I tried a bunch of different things, trying to figure out what the issue was before I pinned it down. You're gonna put the odds on what's being banned in Historic. Okay, so the pessimist in me says they're going to be stupid and banned with something in Winota and Historic. The optimist in me wants to believe that they're going to unban Oko or ban Teferi. So pessimistically, they're going to ban something in Winota. Optimistically, they could be banning Teferi or unbanning Oko. Mr. Mark the Shark, thanks for the 14 months. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. If you want to be super duper optimistic, if you want a level of unparalleled optimism that you've never heard of before on their stream, the thing they're going to announce with regards to Oko, with regards to Historic, is they're going to announce that they're unbanning Oko in Historic and also rebalancing it so it's second +1 is a -1. That would be the super de-duper optimistic what's gonna happen. They're unbanning Oko and rebalancing it, because Historic is a digital-only format. That was a funny joke, tell another. Yeah, that one's pretty unlikely to happen. If Wizards wanted to embrace the future and make Magic Arena and Historic the best it could be, that's what they would do, in my opinion. What are lands? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No more. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I would just like to go on record now and say the actual worst case doomsday scenario for Historic is they ban something out of Winota and don't also ban something out of just Kailuka. In my opinion, that would be a mess up of colossal proportions. So there's a strong chance that's what happens. Welcome back, Vonin. Sorry about that. Put the switch like, oh, thank you for the tier 3 too. Sorry about that. I appreciate the dealer's choice bump. At this point, I think Teferi might be on the board of directors. Yeah, I think the Naya Winota deck is very beatable, and I think banning something out of Naya Winota would be a colossal mistake. I'm hoping that their change to Standard and Historic is they're going to say, look, we're sorry, we messed up, we know. They're going to say, look, we're sorry, we know we messed up, we're getting rid of Teferi. That's what they're going to say. That's the optimistic outlook, is they're going to say they know they made a mistake and they're deleting Teferi because he needs to be deleted. So, because they K-commanded my Astrolabe here, I actually need to draw another Astrolabe or a source to let me cast this, which is awkward. They can ban it right before. Okay, so I'm just gonna time you out because you're stupid. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of all the people. Just so we're the record, I'm gonna have a zero tolerance policy moving forward for people that imply stupid things like Teferi is a card that always has to be banned and too good. There is nothing wrong with Teferi as a character, and the idea that all Teferis are Teferi Time Raveler is fundamentally wrong and just completely idiotic. They're not. Teferi, like Chandra, like Jace, has a huge range of cards, and some of them are fine, and some of them are Teferi Time Raveler. Yeah, there's literally a 6-mana Teferi Planeswalker that's unplayable. Yeah, there's more unplayable Tefs than not. People are just completely incapable of critical thinking and looking at data outside of what their feelings make them feel. It's so annoying. Dr. Leppy, thanks for the 14 months. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, but I think 5-mana Teferi, I know 5-mana Teferi elicited a lot of complaining from people in the moment, but I think especially like looking at Historic and what that card does there, 5-mana Teferi is a super reasonable card. Yeah, I agree, Dojo. It's the same level of low IQ, lack of critical thinking with companions too. The all companions are bad and the companion mechanics the worst thing since Storm and Dredge because Yorion and Lurrus are possibly overtuned. It's easier to say lazy takes like that than it is to involve nuance and acknowledge that life is shades of gray and that details matter. Big Tef would have actually just been fine if he couldn't tuck himself. If there's anything too good or amiss on that card, it's the simple fact that it's allowed to tuck itself. Which in reality is like a pretty minor thing, all things considered, I think. I think I'm just playing Yorion here to try and stabilize the board a little bit. It draws a card when it comes out. We have a donation goal to make your paternity leave paid. We're gonna be all right regardless. If you want to help make my paternity leave paid, just please renew your sub or remember to drop in and renew your Prime even when I'm off for a week or two. So remember, I don't have to be online, or any streamer doesn't have to be online for you to drop a Prime sub off. So, for instance, if you're watching this on YouTube in the future and you have Amazon Prime, but your schedule doesn't line up to ever catch my stream live, you can pull up my Twitch channel and subscribe with Prime even when I'm offline too. And I appreciate the folks that do that. Gazni, thanks for the 18 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Well, that didn't go as well as planned. How do you get validation from you saying our names? I'm actually pretty sure that it will give you the option to show your name later. It doesn't send the message when you resub necessarily. I'm pretty sure you get the option to send the notification through the next time you go and I'm online. I think we're dead here, right? Just about. So we can Cryptic, tap their team draw, flash in Snapcaster Mage to block Raging Ravine, but I'm not sure that we're gonna be able to come back from this position in general. Can't confirm resub during hoops, but waited to share. Nice. So I think I'd rather, because I need to draw spells to get out of this situation, I think I'd rather let them animate Raging Ravine, attack, and then block it with Snapcaster Mage, because Snapcaster Mage isn't doing anything regardless, right? So I'd rather draw a card and throw a Snapcaster Mage away here as a blocker, risking I could die if they have a push or a bolt, but I'm like not beating those cards realistically anyways. So I think trying to draw some outs here is more ideal. I'm playing Party Bus and Historic, and I had a game where I stole 3 Field of the Deads and their Ulabog. Nice, Lucas. Did you wait until bans before you look at anything in Historic? Yeah, probably, honestly. I actually just tweeted this morning that the worst thing about Wizards announcing their bans the way they do is they effectively put a moratorium on people playing Magic formats. It's like, well, why would we think about Magic for the next little bit? There's no point. Thanks, Odin. Yeah, I'm really happy with what we ended up putting together. We're just at this point. I have a K command here. I can deploy some blockers theoretically, but it's just gonna cut through it and shock us and stuff. Alright, so Veil of Summer sounds great. Honestly, Pulse of Murasa sounds pretty good here. The Sweeper might also be okay. This is definitely a matchup where I want fewer counter spells in my deck. I want more cards that play to the board against a deck like Jund. Hey, Sayit. Thanks for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome to Hooglandia. And the feedback on the sub-survey regarding the opens has been stellar, by the way. We've had 950 responses so far, and over 87% of people have said that they like their subs to support Hooglandia open events, which is pretty great. Those are definitely not going anywhere. Management Growth Spiral. Yeah, Management Growth Spiral. That's fine. Not amazing, but fine. They're super aggressive. We could maybe be in a little bit of trouble, but they could be super aggressive with discard spells. Basically against Thoughtseize Inquisition decks, you want to just keep any hand that has lands and spells. Yeah, this is the third match of this league. We've been playing for about an hour. Yeah, I agree, Odium. You should, if you think it's stupid that Wizards of the Coast announces things and then leaves us in limbo for a bit, like and retweet this tweet. It is obscene, in my opinion, the way they manage their ban lists. Happy to be able to support someone, and honestly, out of everyone that I watch, I think you're my favorite in terms of learning Magic, having fun, and all of your demeanor. I appreciate what you do, and congrats to the new baby. Thanks for the support, Saeed. Welcome to Hooglandia. Good to have you here in chat. Yeah. Maintenance. I get it, Moto. I get it. Today is 3 months of work from home. Thanks for keeping me sane while I'm forced to make up for my coworkers doing half of the work that they used to do in the office. Put the bits towards every deck in the key. Thanks for the support, Bluish Monster. Hope your coworkers get kicked in the butt a little bit and help you out. I mean, in WotC's defense, Zarium, they do send out surveys. It's just their surveys don't really pull you on things that you wish they'd pull you on, and they're incredibly long to the point of being tedious. Yeah, in a way, Supali, the drama surrounding Magic and the MPL and other things that have happened recently, it's been a refreshing change of pace from the sad reality of the timeline that we're in a lot of ways. Well, our plan of drawing spells kind of worked out, and then we got hit with another discard spell, so not a whole lot we could do here. I guess I'm just gonna counter and draw. I could do something cute like bounce here, but I need to just draw a removal spell for this. I'm sure you talked about this before, but what's your opinion on snow lands? I'm not rare why you wouldn't want to use snow basics, which is it. I agree. In fact, actually, something I've talked about on stream before is that the single worst thing about Arcanum's Astrolabe being printed as a Magic card is Arcanum's Astrolabe made it strategically inoptimal to play non-snow basics, which is a travesty. Because having your basic land be something you identify with was one of the more sweet creative parts about Magic as a game. And in addition to Astrolabe just being kind of an armpit of a design, it also does that, which sucks. So in addition to removing deck building creativity, Arcanum's Astrolabe also removes, expressive creativity from the game as well. For very little value. Do you think after the first no warning balance update, they gave us a 1 week grace period because they wanted to give people some kind of time to spend? I don't know why they do it, Mana Symbol. And at the end of the day, I don't care why they do it. I just know that for me personally, the result of how they currently manage their ban list is a net drop in my interest in Magic as a game and those formats while we sit in limbo and wait. I think it is a huge net negative for Magic as a game, the way in which Wizards has been managing their ban lists. And that's not even to say the specific cards they're banning and unbanning, but just, we're super dead here. I'm gonna go to the next one. But just the very fact of how... Are you kidding me? The league's paused? Well, I mean, I guess I guarantee a minimum of 2. I was gonna play at least a 4th, but... Yeah, but we're not in downtime yet. Magic Online is just such an absolute unforgivable dumpster fire of an application. The fact that, like, I can't play until downtime happens... And the fact that downtime even happens in general, I paid $10 to play in this league. And you're going to pause it an hour before downtime even starts? And I'm sure in those pop-up messages I clicked through that it told me that. But the fact that that's the policy and that's what happened 2 decades later after this application was made is so this is as flipping stupid as the announcement of the announcement. Why announce that downtime's happening at a certain time when the downtime's actually happening an hour before that? Like, what the fuck's the point? Like, pardon my language, but like, what's the point? Yeah, if the downtime truly starts now, don't tell me it starts an hour and 45 minutes from now. Like, yeah, I don't really even have words. I guess I need to, I'm gonna move, I'm not doing Magic Online every day anymore anyways. I'm gonna update it. I'm gonna update it in my schedule so Moto doesn't happen on Wednesdays ever anymore, just so we don't sporadically have this happen again. All right, I guess this will just be a 3-match set. I don't know that I really have strong opinions on this deck. Seems fine. Yeah, I don't really have anything other than seems fine. The Jund matchup there didn't feel particularly close. Felt like we had too many clunky cards. But this feels, what was it? We had played a different Cryptic Command deck, and these Cryptic Command decks, they feel like Blue Tron in this format. Like, their good matchups are good, and their bad matchups are pretty unwinnable. And maybe that's not strictly true, but it's definitely the way it's felt to me in my small sample sizes so far. Be careful, Wizards might come and randomly ban you. All right. I feel like I want to address that point because it's worth addressing. If anything, I feel like very obviously Wizards of the Coast doesn't work with me and they don't throw me any bones, but like I'm a very good clear example of like you don't have to say yes and play nice with everything that they do or they're gonna ban you. The idea, and I feel like, and you can tell me if this is not the case, Nocti, but I feel like your statement there was kind of trying to throw shade at the Austin ban and comparing banning someone leaking NDA'd information to like saying they would consider banning someone for presenting a random negative opinion of something they're doing publicly that they don't like. I don't think those things are remotely comparable. I don't think it's fair to say those things are remotely comparable. All right, at any rate, I guess we're going to be diving on into